Welcome back. I am the Angry Cook. Today, part 2 of our British Isles cooking, or cooking in the British Isles, as the case may be. Today we're going to do bangers and mash. This came up on my YouTube feed, kind of off on the outside. I wasn't expecting it. I watched one, then I watched others, and realized that I really wanted to do this and make a little special about it. Toad in a hole and bangers and mash and what the hell was the other one I just did? Whatever. So I went to a butcher shop here. They sell premium or prime beef, and they don't sell choice, so they're more expensive. But I asked them if they could make Cumberland sausage. English Cumberland sausage, because I wanted to make this authentically. And they looked up the recipe and they said yes, they could do that. So I ordered a couple of pounds. They made me 3, which was great. You don't need to use Cumberland sausage. You can use any good sausage. Not Italian sausage, just a good country sausage type of thing, you know. But everything else is standard. I mean, it's mashed potatoes and onions and gravy and stuff. You have the gravy recipe already. That's the one I used. The best pan sauce I ever had. And I just did onions in that, caramelized onions in that, and it turned out really well. It turned out excellent, actually. And the sausage was better the second day, I thought, anyway, because I had 1 left over. My daughter was here too, so there was 3 of us eating, and it was really good. Toad in the hole's coming. I'm not sure when, but somewhere in the very near future. I got to get chicken teriyaki done too. But anyway, let's get on with bangers and mash. Okay, we have chopped up, sliced up finely 1 large onion. We're starting to caramelize it. A little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. Put your onions on top of that. A little bit of salt on that to help get the moisture out. And just basically do it on a slow top, somewhere between about medium low. Maybe a little bit higher than that. Not much. You don't want this to be fast. You want it to be slow. You want to get a nice brown texture to this. We'll bring it back when we're a little further along. You can see how we sweated out quite a bit in here. It was about 3 times taller, bigger than this. They're all on a single layer on the bottom. I've added a teaspoon of sugar and mixed it in to help with the caramelization process. We're still going along, and we should start turning momentarily and get a nice rich brown to them. So we'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, we put some olive oil in a pan. We're going to get ready to cook our Cumberland sausage. Now, this is not made in Cumberland in Great Britain, unfortunately. This is custom made by a butcher in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Hickman's, to an official recipe. So we're putting this in low and slow, get nice and browned up and release the juices, which is going to help make our onion gravy, which is coming along quite nicely too. So we'll be back with you in a little bit. Move the bangers to a bigger pan so they're more separated. I thought there was only 4 of them, but there are 5. So these are browning up nicely. Look at that. Releasing their wonderful juice that's going to go into our onion gravy, along with a little bit of wine and some beef stock and nummy things. So potatoes go on a little bit. We'll get back to you when I'm a little more advanced. Okay, something I forgot, which really pissed me off. I've got 3 or 4 sprigs of fresh rosemary and 2 cloves of garlic that I just smashed down, added to this to add some flavor to it. We'll remove those when the bangers are done. It's not going to go with the gravy or anything, but We're starting to color up here on the onions. So these are about ready to come off. Probably another 5 minutes, which will be good for that. And then we're doing the onion gravy. Now what I'm doing for the onion gravy, the episode, what is it? Episode 71, the best pan sauce that I ever made. I'm using that recipe with the onions. I think it's going to go awesome. It's basically the same as all the brown sauces, onion gravy that I've seen for this, although I think it has a little bit more flavor to it. So we're going to give that a pop. We'll be back as we saute. See ya. Okay, bangers are done. In a warmed oven. Keep them warm while I do the gravy and do the mash, which I'm going to turn on right now. You can see I've got a nice amount of fat in there. This gravy is going to be outrageous, I think. So, start the gravy. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of wine. Again, this is episode 71. To glaze a little bit. Take a look where we are here. Okay. Add the stock. All right, bringing this up to a boil. That was a cup of stock. Now we've got our paste, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay, mix that in. Don't need a whisk for this. Didn't last time. Didn't the past few times, so don't need it yet. So it all works out well. It looks awesomeness. Let's turn that down to a simmer. And we're going to simmer for 10 minutes. And our potatoes should be ready just about then. Our bangers are staying warm, so we're set. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Oh, throw the onions in. Plop. Throw our onions in. Get them all mixed in there nicely so they absorb some of that greatness. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Alright, coming down to the end. I added another half cup of beef stock to this. It was getting too thick for my liking. And as my wife will tell you, it is after all about me. Let's take a look at potatoes. Still have a few more minutes to go. Another 5 minutes ought to get them going. The gravy, we're just going to let it sit there and keep warm. The bangers are in here keeping warm. Ooh, Jesus. In there keeping warm. So we'll be back with the mash soon. Alright, we are at 0 hour. So, drain the potatoes. Okay, we're going to let these sit again. We've done this before. Trying to get as much moisture out of there as possible. The burner is off, but it's still hot. Gravy set. We'll re-season that when we've gotten a little bit more mash done here. Just chop these up roughly. I'm going to use a duller knife for that. Dinner's just about ready. Got the big lumps out. Now let's get the little lumps out. Let's add a tablespoon of butter first. Yes, it's ghee, I know. Right, let's add another one. Can't have too much butter in this. You just can't. It's impossible. It's physically impossible to have too much butter in mashed potatoes. Mashed up with the masher. A little bit of room temperature milk. Creamy it up a little bit. Yes, creamy is a word in my context. Leave me alone. Remember, don't work your potatoes too much or you'll make them tough and gluey and goopy and yucky and crap. So we're just about done here. Okay, there we go. Mash. Bangers. Gravy. A little bit try to escape. Just will not happen. Gravy. A little bit of mash. Banger. Gravy. Bangers and mash on the Angry Cook, part 2 of our British Isles episode. Thanks for stopping by. Come back again.